Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It is time for Survival Saturday, and tonight's topic, Piggies for Preppers. And how's everybody doing out there? It is hot. Yeah, it's already 81 in here, and this is not part of the downside of having cottonwood trees that were rotting out and having to take them down. I don't have the shade there until after till about 1 o'clock. Usually the shade would last on this wall here in front of me here until 1 o'clock, and it's getting sun at 8:30. All right, let's head over to the comments here and see who all's here. All right, Walt was the first one in, and yeah, Walt raises cattle, and he said, "Got to have bacon for our burgers and steaks." Yep. When Phelan Klein Wolf came in, then Tammy at Rebel Canners. Phelan said the ads were long tonight. Hopefully they're done for him. Kalen Strain is here. Jay is here. And here's me.
Hang on.
And see so Laura and Chris put up a video about misbehaving pigs, something about raising larger animals. Yeah, pigs are pig-headed. That's where the term comes from. But they're also very, very smart, and pigs also, believe it or not, very clean, and we'll get into that here in a minute. And pigs are very inquisitive too, just like little kids. Once again, where the term pig-headed comes from for kids. And Shawnee's here, and Michelle P's here. Woohoo! It depends on the size of the pig too, Jay. My sister, 10 years older than me, back in the early 60s, was raising a sow and had piglets and stuff, and she could get into that sow all the time prior to her having piglets. Once she had piglets, it was like, get out of here. Suzanne Gallet is here. Oh, she came in on your side, Tammy.
Hi.
And yeah, pigs is one of the things. All right, when Brandon came over to me on the end of 2020 and asked me if I wanted to buy this place across the street, he was raising pigs over here, and I'm just like, yeah, we can raise pigs. So I went to clean out what he had there, and it was like, oh man.
I raised pigs once. I had 6 red Durocs, and I didn't have the right setup before I started. And I had parents that were still alive that had experience. My brother was next door neighbor, had experience. And I will never do it again unless I have a concrete bunker, at least 4.5, 5 foot tall, all the way around, concrete underneath with a drain.
Yeah. Well, see, out here, Brandon has its he has a silo. Have you seen any of my videos out here? You've seen that the grain silo in amongst the trees, concrete floor inside of there. Then the run on the outside is concrete. It's sloped away from there out towards the street. Big gate opens to end up, and he would go into his skid steer and scoop it out. And I don't know where he was dumping the poo, but prior to 2016, he may have been taking it across the street and dumping it over there because he was leasing part of the property over there before we bought it, and running cows over there as well. And so I don't know, but all I know is that he didn't empty it as often as he should have, as busy as he was, having a full-time job plus running cattle here and elsewhere and stuff like. He was doing like 3 full-time jobs all the time. And so the run on the outside, when I went into my little coyote and I was digging it out, and it's like, I've worked live sewer before, right? 24-inch, 36-inch, 48-inch, doing tie-ins and something. That, live sewer has nothing on what that pig pen smelled like.
Yeah.
As little on purpose in the house. And so the only way we would run pigs is to take an acre across the street, fence it off, possibly get like another cargo container dropped on there, open it, set it up so it would they could use part of it for a winter shelter or whatever, and have no more than 12 pigs on an acre. Because they will go spread out. If they have big area to spread out away from, they'll poop in one area, they'll poop in another area. They're like cows. They kind of just drop it around, a little bit like horses, kind of hit areas from what everyone tells me around here.
Well, they'll pick a corner and they'll go to that same corner, and they will always use that corner unless they have a reason to move. They will pick one spot and they will only use that one spot. They're very clean animals, actually.
Yes. And that's the thing. So when we get crowded in, they get unclean.
Yeah.
And so let me bring up. All right. So, there are different types of pigs, and I didn't look up all the different breeds of them. There are small pigs. There are pot-bellied pigs people use for pets. There's other ones they use for pets, kind of keep for pets indoors and stuff. Life in the Piedmont Homestead just came in on your side, Tammy.
Hi, welcome. Yes, my new friend. She has a great channel. You should go check it out, everyone.
All right. If somebody could throw up that link, I'd appreciate it.
She's doing the Every Bit Counts challenge right now, and she was had a great video. I just watched it. I'm trying to think of what was all in it, but I'm really loving it. It gives me some good ideas.
And pigs root, they turn soil over, and something, I guess most pigs do. Wild hogs and stuff definitely root up and tear up soil and everything else. Go after all the grubs, the worms, and everything else if they aren't, because they're not being fed. But this is not an ideal condition for raising pigs. It's too small. They can't poop away from themselves. Poop keeps building up, and they're trying to take a bath in their water trough, I bet, and they can't because they're and it's just they need space.
I like how Justin Rhodes has it, where he moves. He has a portable, and he moves it and he uses it to till his garden. So it's just going down the garden row where he's going to have a garden next year. If I were to do it again, I might consider that if I didn't have concrete to keep. I had a problem with my pigs getting out.
Yeah.
They're pretty smart. They can find any hole in the fence.
Now, this is a little bit better. I froze. Way back in the background, I don't know how many you can see the little white things on, and they got a couple strands of hot wire running in there to keep the pigs away from the trees and stuff. Now, pigs, everyone think, pigs are thick-skinned. They got tough skin. Problem is that tough skin is very sensitive to electricity. And so when they bump up against a hot wire, it gets them good. It only takes a couple times for them to realize, I'm not going to touch that again. So let me go back here and look at the stuff. I'm just reading that side chat, keeping up on the side chat here. Parents used to, yeah, especially if the snout hits that hot wire.
Yeah.
You'll hear that squealing for a quarter mile away.
But it only takes about 5 minutes for the power to be out for them to figure out that it's off and take off to Timbuktu like mine.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. According to the Pennsylvania Game Commission veterinarian, Dr. Walt Cottrell, pigs only take 30 days to become literally wild.
Yeah.
Let's see. Boys left to themselves only take 2 weeks to be totally wild. Some can do it in a week at scout camp if the scoutmaster doesn't keep on them. Do I got any more after this? Yeah. Now, I couldn't find more on this picture, but I got a feeling that the hot wires goes way back, and they were talking about in the woods. So there may be a trail in the woods where the hot wire goes around, giving the pigs an ample area to go to root around in and everything else as well. So, but you know, smaller pigs, two wires in will keep them busy, and that's the last one I have on that. And so, just like I mentioned on the talking about with the chickens, with the cattle and stuff, the hot fence hot wires, you want to get one that is both plug-in and solar. That way the power goes out. It's got a nice, you get one with a nice big battery in there, and it'll keep going for a couple days. But then when the sun comes out, it'll charge up. So you actually will have without power, without plug-in power, a good one will go forever. Northern Girl Hobbies, how you doing? She came in on your side as well, Tammy.
Hi.
So pigs, for us, I mean, we've looked at it, and we keep going. Yes, no. Yes, no. The wife and I. It's just, you know, it's kind of like, it's one of those things. Shenanigans is here. And it's just kind of one of those things. You should both smile. If you smile, I'll smile. I promise. There we go. We smiled.
I'm a little sun beat down. I've been out in the woods camping for the last 7 days, and I am beat.
Yeah. Mother Earth Garden Club, welcome. Yeah, so if you want to make sure you get a proper size charger station. You figure, okay, I'm running so many feet of line. I'm running 2 lines or 3 lines. You want to triple that, because it's got to have enough power so when stuff grows up to it, it kills the weed that tries, so it doesn't, short it out. And so you want to have at least triple the distance to have the powerful enough charge in it to handle everything. But that's one of the things here. Like if we do something like here, we'd probably set up a pattern. If we get like a 10-foot cargo container, drop it out there, and we'd probably set it up with a little ring around it that can go around. But off that ring will be wedges. All right, pigs, you're going to be out here for the next. You'll be out here in this wedge for the next 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later we'll move you over here, and then over here. That way the poo also doesn't build up and stink. It has a chance to break down, and the grass and stuff has a chance to recuperate and grow some more.
They have pigs that don't dig up as much. They're called pasture pigs. I can't remember. It's a certain state in their name, and I can't remember. don't know if it's Indiana or Idaho. I know it's an I. I think it's Idaho pasture pigs where they just graze on grass like cows.
Yeah.
Supposedly. I've never raised them. But those
all
are
right. I got Idaho Path, and it popped up. Idaho pasture pigs.
Yep. And they are supposed to be less destructive.
Okay. It says the Idaho pasture pig is a medium-sized breed of pig that began being developed in 2006 with an ongoing selection to breed to the stated ideal standards. And go ahead and open that thing up here. And this is the link to the article I'm reading from. There you go. And it has a registry. So as it goes in and talks about it, that's the pigs are not, that one's getting pretty hefty size, but they're still smaller than other pigs. I mean, you get some of them. I've seen pigs that are twice the size as the ones they're showing here.
Oh yeah.
So maturing at 250 to 350 pounds. I know some guys heavier than that. So yeah. Boars mature 350 to 450. Okay, that's getting sows greater than 400 pounds and boars greater than 500 pounds could be disqualified. So this is part of all of the breeding program requirements and stuff for it. So
yeah, they're supposed to be a little bit smaller, a little bit more easy to handle, and they're supposed to be more of a grazer than a rooter as far as tearing up the land.
So cool. All right, so there you want to know the information. There's the link for it. And I better just go ahead just to keep the wife happy. And yeah, okay, can't patent found a compound, say, boom, there we go.
And then the other two categories are pigs are lean. The tradition right now, or the farming look of the pig, they want a lean pig, a meaty pig with not a lot of fat on it. So some of the older breeds are what they call lard pigs, which they produce a lot of lard, which was very valuable in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
And so
prior to the introduction of that poison called vegetable oil.
Yeah.
Vegetable oils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's another thought to consider when you're choosing a breed. Are you getting something that is, cooties don't root either. Good to know.
And Angels came in on your side again.
Thank you, Angels. I've only had the potbelly pigs that I raised as a pet. And then I also had the red Durocs, which are a lean meat producing. They're bred to have a long loin.
Oh yeah. Mother Earth. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's like this morning I was out there working, doing a bunch of going through all the wood piles from where they're down in the trees, some of the branches and stuff. They haven't run through their chipper yet. I was running through my chipper because my chipper will give real fine pieces of wood chips, almost like I cut it up with a chainsaw. And for my walkway out here, and then two of the guys from the tree company showed up, and so I set the cameras up and stuff. And after a while, it's just I can't be out there. I couldn't be out. Today was just an extraordinarily hot. And the two guys at a little bit afternoon, they go, all right, we're calling it a day. Usually they go to like 3 o'clock or so, or 3 o'clock, 3:30. You go, oh no, we're cutting it. It's too hot out here. And but they got a lot of stuff done. But it's so hot to do it. And that's one of the things that makes me worry about pigs. Cattle, I know, especially you get the right breed of cattle, who cares about heat? You get like the Texas Longhorn, which is, If it ain't 120, I'm cold. And it makes you wonder, because I have heard from on several of the channels watching, they were worried about their pigs getting too hot and needing to cool off the pigs.
Yeah, sometimes you have to like hose them down. It gets that hot, or at least give them a nice wallow. Hi, Myra.
Yeah, and that's where a nice sloped concrete pad would come in handy. You just put some some regular your shrub pop-up sprinklers, just do like a little circle. Put a couple of those up above it, near the top of it, and let it turn on for a little bit. And the pigs will all come running up there and get washed off, and they'll all washed away. They'll get nice and cool. The concrete will cool down.
No.
Yeah.
And pigs are great if you have a lot of food scraps. When I was doing it, I was picking up food scraps from a couple different places, and a couple different friends would save all their food waste. Instead of composting it, I would give it to the pigs. But commercial farms can't do that because they have to heat it up to a certain point that makes it almost inedible because of parasites.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. If you have pigs, it's good to have a couple walnut trees, because especially the black walnut. You can feed the husk to the pigs, and it acts as a dewormer and deparasiter. So that's one of the things that Brandon, I guess, used to go and get some walnut husks somewhere. And Curtis, when he had pigs, he would go get walnut husks somewhere. But walnut trees will grow around here. Unfortunately, walnut trees also kill anything trying to grow under them, as they don't like to share the nutrients.
If I had pigs, I would plant oak trees above their area, just to provide both shade and acorns, because in Europe back in the Middle Ages, they would feed them acorn mass, and that's how they fed them. They didn't have the grain, the corn, like we do now, and so they were fed a diet of acorns in order to fatten them up for food.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something else I found out really cool. And you may not know this, you may know it, Tammy. I found out that certain breeds of Listeria are good down to zone 3. Wisteria chases off mosquitoes and also provides a nice. Once you get it growing up, provides a nice shade. But wisteria seeds are bad for certain animals. I haven't done research on it. Let me do it right now. Whether or not, because I know wisteria is bad for cattle. They're bad for goats sheep. I didn't look up goats, but
sheep and goats are pretty much the same on that kind of stuff usually. If it was bad for sheep, I kind of keep it away from goats.
Wisteria can be poisonous to goats. Pigs. Okay, they're not coming out saying that it's poisonous to pigs. All right, here we go. What plants are poisonous to pigs? Bracken, hemlock, cockabur, henbane, ivy, acorns.
Well, because of the tannins in them, you don't.
The tannins, yeah. All right, this comes from a veterinary clinic. Is what the foxglove, ragwort, elder, deadly nightshade, rhododendron, and liberbin are highly toxic to pigs. Jimson weed, also known as hell's bells, prickly pear, devil's weed, Jamestown weed, stinkweed, devil's trumpet, or devil's cucumber is also poisonous to them.
That's weird because it's not. Prickly pear is weird. That one I'm going to also call. I mean, I know you have to take the tannins out of the acorns by making a mass out of them. But prickly pear, humans can eat prickly pear.
Yeah.
I'm going to call that one. I don't know why that would be the case.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So
generally speaking, anything we can eat, they can eat. So that one, I don't understand why that's on the list.
Oh, here's one for you. What is the pig's biggest predator?
Bear. No.
Humans.
People? Okay. I wasn't counting us in that.
Yeah. And if you're watching the channels like Arms Family Homestead, 9 to 5 Off Grid, what's the other one? The Deputy Sheriff. I can't think of his name right now.
Arms Family.
No, that's Daniel was a state trooper, but there's a deputy sheriff that a couple of us were talking. I mean, he just started on YouTube, and he went off like a skyrocket because he has cute girls out there doing the stuff in the ground, digging stuff. So he made a lot of hits and stuff. But he actually goes and traps wild hogs.
Oh,
as well.
Yeah, we have a problem with here in a part of Michigan because somebody brought them in to wild boar, brought them in to have a specialty market on them, and some kids decided that it would be funny to let the whole pen of them loose, and the guy has not gotten them back, and so it is open season on wild boar in Michigan, which is not fun when you're out in the woods hunting to come across something you're not expecting that is that dangerous.
Yeah. Which comes to mind, the smaller breeds are probably better ones to have. Let me look that up real quick. Smaller breeds of pigs. Okay. We have the Vietnamese potbelly, the Guyana hog, the American mini pig, the Ossabaw Island hog, getting some really coon, mulefoot. So there are a bunch.
Oh, the mulefoot is another interesting one. It is an old heritage breed, and that one is very interesting. They have a different shaped hoof.
Yeah.
And that's where they get their name from. But they're a heritage breed, and they're very interesting.
Okay. I sorry, my mind just made a left turn here on this one. Reading non-cloven hoof. Oh, so they got like a rate. They're not cloven hoof. They're rounded stuff. So, according to the old Hebrew law, they would be edible.
Maybe technically, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Hanford mini swine, Gottingen mini, and the large white pig, and the large black pig. So there are some, these are supposed to be miniature pig breeds. So
the way that they keep Vietnamese potbelly pigs small is they don't feed them. They limit their food intake, and that's how they keep them small. If you feed them and let them eat unlimitedly, they will get actually quite large.
Yeah.
Fun fact. But they were originally bred so that the people of Vietnam could transport them in their canoes without them tipping the canoes over on them. Another fun fact.
Yeah. Compact, sturdy size of 15 to 20 inches. The American mini pigs are a smaller stature than other breeds, suitable for indoor and outdoor homes. Those are more information on those. You look it up. So, all right. May have to more information to go over with the staff sergeant once she retires from her job there in California and comes up here. All right, and Joseph Moore is in the house.
And then the Kuni, I think a lot of homesteaders breed that because it is another one that produces a nice amount of lard per proportion of a small pig.
Yeah. And, it's a small breed of domestic pig from New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Anyway, so if you're thinking about pigs, this is something for it. But to me, I think that prepper groups, because it's going to be easier for a prepper group to do it. This is something for preppers to think about, community of MAG, or CAG, Prepper LLC, or whatever. To think about getting this, some of these pigs, especially the smaller breeds that are easier to handle.
And you can't have one when you're raising it up. You can't have just one. So you can't go get one pig and raise it in your backyard. You really need two, because they won't eat as well and they won't thrive and they will get sick and get lonely. So it's also, even though it's a lot of people have raised them in the past, they had like one pig. When they're tiny, you want to raise two together, at least minimum. And that's something a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, lard, that's one of the things thinking about for pigs. If you're thinking about it for a prepper emergency situation, you want one that produces more lard.
Yes.
Yeah. Making soap, making all the other uses for lard, seasoning your cast iron, making soap from lard.
Having some good fat in your body so you can survive a hardy winter in northern countries is very important.
And considering that they're finally, a lot of doctors are finally bucking the trend and saying, hey, no, lard is actually very good for you. Canola oil is extra bad for you. Soy oil is very bad for men.
I'm just gonna say, if it has the word hydrogenated in it, I will not eat it. Mm-hmm. That's my own personal. I won't eat it because of health.
Yeah, and you ever see a video on how they process these seed oils, whether it's rapeseed oil, all the different oil seeds and stuff they use, and the corn oils and stuff like that. It is absolutely disgusting what it looks like. And then they do all this stuff to it, and they use these toxic chemicals to do stuff with it, and then they use bleach to clear it up, and it's just really nasty stuff. All right, and it looks like Tammy's having some problem. She hasn't dropped totally out. It's still there, but her camera went blank. So I'm not sure if she's going to try to step out and come back in again. But there you are. You're back. So sorry. Northern Girl Hobbies asked, what is ideal? 2 females and a male?
Unless you're trying to breed, if you're trying to breed them, yes. If you're just trying to raise them for your own meat and you have a source to buy piglets every year, it doesn't matter if it's, what they are. You just need 2. So I guess it depends on your goals.
Yeah. And it also depends on what how much time you're going to be able to spend with the pigs.
Right.
Because I've seen some people that brings the pigs indoors, and they keep them indoors, and they put a little diaper on them, and
even those need a piggy companion until they get to a certain size and age, because when they're first first weaning, they need the competition of another pig at the feeding trough to actually get them to eat.
Yeah.
And that's something they don't tell you until you're raising them.
So let me switch over here to Amazon, go to my book wish list. And books, there it is. Find the blue books. There we go. I'm waiting for this one to drop in price. This is the I have the one for beef, but this is the one that does poultry, rabbit, lamb, goat, and pork. And it says comprehensive photographic guide. Yet it is very good. You know, the guy, Adam Danforth did a very good job on both books. And okay, oh wait a minute. All right, that's interesting. Because here it's dropped by 23%. I need to go back and see if it on my wish list to see if it dropped, but I may have got it picked up when it was low too. But yeah, so there's a look inside. Let's see what it says, looks inside here. So it goes through. Goes through chicken, sheep, pig slaughtering, chapter 12. 13 is processing the pork. Chapter 14 is packaging and freezing. So covers tools and very, I said, very good information on it here. And so go by quickly so the AI doesn't freak out. So anyway, so backwards on that.
Another thing to consider with pork is you need to make sure that you cook it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Pork does carry trichinosis and other parasites, and so it's something that really needs to be cooked thoroughly before you eat it.
Yeah, there's no such thing as I want a rare pork steak.
No, that's a very bad idea.
Yeah, and that's one of the things where you are having the black walnut to help get rid of the parasites and stuff out of their systems as well.
Yeah.
That helps out.
I've recently eliminated pork from my diet. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm trying. We'll see. So, I know.
I can't. It's like, no, I need bacon. I need bacon.
Oh, you have no idea how much more I need bacon than coffee. And yet, here I am. We'll see. I'm really working on it. I'm going to try.
Yeah. Now, there are several things I've noticed when talking about ham and bacon. You got your cured hams and your cured bacon and stuff. Then you can also buy uncured, which means no nitrates or nitrites in it. And but then if you go to some place that has Amish around or Mennonites, they cure it a different way. They cure it the old school way without the chemicals. Yeah. Or at least without those chemicals.
Yeah.
And then there's smoking and salting and other things they use to help do it, which you wind up with a lot of salt and if you're doing the salting method, but I guess the salt kills most of the parasites as well.
Yeah.
After it's not a quick kill and eat. It's kill, store, salt, and let it a couple months later, then you get into it.
Yeah. It's not, those are not easy things. That's a skill you need to be working.
Yeah.
I know, Caitlin, I don't like beef bacon. It's just a step above turkey bacon, which I'd rather eat the cardboard box that turkey bacon comes in than eat turkey bacon. So I may be done with bacon. We'll see. I'm a couple
Yes,
months into this New Year's resolution.
pumpkins and squash. Yes,
Yeah.
feeding the pumpkins to the pigs is something else to do too, which is another reason to grow a bunch of pumpkins.
Yes.
So yeah, unlike chickens, unlike sheep, unlike cattle or turkeys, pigs take a lot more work to deal with, and all the stuff I've read on.
I did it once. And I was like, never again. And then I had a potbelly pig given to me, and I had that as a pet for a very short time.
Mother's Garden Club, my question would be, was that store-bought pork? If so, it was probably the chemicals they used to treat the pork with. Yeah. Because I've the last several months I've just what has happened to the American food industry from about 1902 on.
But there is also a condition where you get bit by, and I want to say the Lone Star tick. Is that what it is? And then you are allergic to certain meats.
Yeah.
After that, so I mean that is a very real thing too, to be allergic. So.
Yeah. And sorry, the conspiracy little portion of my brain back here is going off the rails. Like, all right, what is the government doing with the Lone Star tick? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you're, if you're thinking about it, please do a lot more research. If someone in your area raises pigs, be their friend. Take them vegetables and stuff and talk to them. Maybe it's better to have them raise the pigs and you help grow food for the pigs. And, that way, you create an unofficial co-op support group for it. I know that.
Yeah, you cannot lead a pig. So you really need to learn how to get a pig back in from somebody that has them before you ever go and buy one.
Yeah. Although I have seen some really funny videos or reels and stuff. They basically focus on this boy and this girl in the pig competition. And they're out there with a stick guiding the pigs, like at the state fair or whatever. And what they're not looking at that, they're staring at the judges, and they're just moving the pigs like this. They're staring at the judges, and it's like, and they're just doing everything. Watching this kind of. And then I read an article on the one girl what happened, and it's very interesting that what they go through for.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not all pigs are not like that. They pick one and they train that one.
And hours upon hours every day for months. Mm-hmm. It's not, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, Kaylin. Yeah.
I have not heard of that. Interesting.
Yeah, because when Brandon lived here, I mean, he had in this little pig pen out here that he it's supposed to be beef, not bee. She corrected it down below here. He would raise like 12 to 15 pigs here, and generally halfway through the raising process, he had them all sold. People here in town, or just outside of town, over in Perth as well. But he had them basically sold beforehand, and he had all the pigs tagged by number and stuff, so he marked off which pig was sold to who, and told him, all right, you still, you put down so much down, time for the rest of it, we're taking it into to the guy, and every once in a while he had someone back out, but there was always someone in the wing ready to snap it up.
That was me. I had a friend who had a pig farm, and people would always back out, and she'd call me up. She goes, can you just pay X amount? That's all that's still owed on this pig, and we'll call it good. And I got several pigs every year because people would pay a non-refundable down payment and then back out and not do the rest. So that was always good for me. I was always good to come in at the end and.
So that's one of the things to consider is, you may want pigs, but you don't want to go through the hassle of raising them. So you need to budget to have someone locally near you, and don't back out when you set one up. You don't want to tick off the pig farmer.
Also, you can always go to your local 4-H fair on auction night and bid, and quite often you can get some that way.
Oh, interesting fact here. I don't know if you can. Mother says
boar taint. Yes, not good.
That's sort of like a buck goat doesn't.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing. It's testosterone. Yeah, that's why they prefer to castrate the young piglets. Anything they're not going to use for breeding.
Yeah. Happy Mac just came in on your side.
Hello.
Yes. The all bacon pig. And Kaylin says after the Iowa State Fair, all animals shown are put up for auction.
Yeah.
Okay. The East Idaho State Fair, which is held in our county seat of Blackfoot, which is about 12 miles down the road here, is around Labor Day.
Yeah.
So
we have many county fairs here from June through September, and the kids are always excited to sell their animals, and every animal except horses are auctioned off. So you can show your horse without having it auctioned off, but everything else is auctioned off. And so you can get quite a few. And then if you show up the day after the auction to the rabbit barn with cash, quite often there's quite a few rabbits passed out the back door that nobody really wanted, but they bought them from the kids, and then they still have to sell them again to get rid of them.
Yeah. There are some, I've heard some around here. There's one guy around here, I guess he offers top dollar for the first place winner of, for different categories and stuff, just to encourage the kids more.
Yeah. And we had someone in our area that would always buy the grand champion of each kind of animal, and then he'd get a picture, and he would have it hung on his restaurant wall that, he was doing that, and he did serve them in his restaurant.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, that pigs are known for the sausages, bacon and sausage, as well as pork chops. But yeah. So that's I hope everybody got something out of this and learned a little bit. And I learned a little bit more with the different, looking up some of the stuff here to help you guys out too. There's, you can always learn more about whatever animal you want to raise, and you may come to the conclusion it's not for you to raise it. It's you to pay someone else to raise it and develop a strong friendship, working relationship, whatever, with that farmer, so that you're one of their prime customers every year. And the thing is, though, too, is like if I know my daughter bought a steer from a friend of ours here in town, April. They raised cattle, and they were going to go half with someone from her husband's work, and they backed out, and they just went ahead and bought the whole steer themselves, and borrowed one of my chest freezers and bought another chest freezer themselves. And so they wind up, to do it, and they're still, I think they got the 5 cubic foot chest freezer still with a bunch of beef in it from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and that's still good.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing is, so if you are buying it from someone, you can turn around and sell off part of what you buy to others to help ease the burden on yourself as well, as far as storage too. So, oh yes, I forgot about the truffles. I forgot about the pigs for
yes.
truffle hunts. So if you're into truffles, that's something else to look into. And I guess there's in some areas of the country, truffles are bringing in a lot of money.
Yes.
All right, let me get over here to the other side here and bring up my list here. I'm just so beat here on it. All right. So wrong one, wrong list. There we go. All right. So coming up on Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, the topic's going to be low sugar canning.
Yep.
So that's something back on sugar and stuff, because she still hasn't gotten rid of the indoctrination from the what do I want to call it, the PR department of the corn industry. So, but she understands that, like, was it Brigham Young said, sugar is a necessary evil. And now I understand what he meant. Sugar for preserving foods, namely fruits and stuff. So that's we're going to be talking low sugar canning on Monday. Here on Gray Man Prepping on Tuesday, we're going to be talking about processing skills. How to do that. The book I just showed, we're going to be talking about that stuff. And it's not just for that, for what we've talked about here, but like someone mentioned, venison, elk, buffalo, whatever you go hunting for. Talk about that on Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping. Thursday, of course, is the Midnight Ride with Gray Man Prepping. Friday on Camp Patton Family Compound is we're going to talk about homemade leaven flatbread. And we're going to start with that. And we'll probably move on to other types of breads, of course. And I'm going to tease CR and send him the link.
I make a really good naan. In fact, I was told by a friend that it tastes as good as his mother's. And since he came from India and went back to India, I take that as a very big compliment.
Yes. All right. So that's so Friday is going to be the homemade leavened flatbread. Next Saturday here for Survival Saturday is we're switching up again. This is a requested topic from a couple of subscribers. It's down the rabbit hole. Spy software programs. So I'm going to talk about another side of prepping and being prepared with that stuff there. So that's what's coming up in the next week. And let's see. Large sows can have very large litters, 10 or more. Yep. And with that, I want to thank everyone in the side chat for all their great contributions to the chat. Thank you, Tammy, for coming up here. I guess Mark is dying out there in the heat because he didn't try coming on. He's trying to get stuff done out of his cabin again. So hopefully, everyone, we'll see you Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound for the low sugar canning. And until then, stay happy, stay safe, enlarge your garden. Hey, you can still, right now, you can still plant food, especially for a fall garden. So, all right, everyone, take care, and we'll see you around.
Bye.